Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is Stace from Hands in the Dirt. Today I'm finna get my fall garden started. We're finna get some seeds in the ground. I don't have everything that I want to plant here yet. My tiger collards hadn't arrived yet, or my bulldog collards hadn't arrived yet, but I do have a lot of stuff to plant other than that. So let's get into it. All right, guys, this is my seed starting trays that I'm gonna use. I got these little trays from Amazon. When I first got them, I was like, this ain't the size of the ones that you see at the store. But now that I have them, and I use these trays, I get these from Lowe's for like $3. You can set this in, it sets in here perfectly, all right? So we're gonna go ahead and get started. This is perfect, all right? So the first plant that I'm gonna plant, or seed I'm gonna plant, is Vate's collard. I'm gonna put the little seeds on top of the soil. I'm gonna put a couple seeds in some of them. All right. And we'll push these under. Use my little stick. Maybe put a little bit more soil over top, I'm not sure. All right, Vate collards. Label those, and we'll move on to the next. Next, I'll be planting giant red mustard greens. These are very small. I'm gonna plant a couple of these. They're so small, it's hard to see them. I'll put a little bit of soil over the top. Okay. And then we'll label those red mustards here. Red mustards here. All right. Let's move on. Next, we'll be planting flash collards. So let's get some of those in there. I will be direct sowing these also. So I am just getting some started in these cups while I get the beds prepared. But in the meantime, let's get some of these going. Trying to get 2 seeds per pod. Cover this up lightly. There we go, y'all. Flash collards. All right, let's move on. All right, next, y'all, we're planting Georgia collards. Trying to drop 2 seeds, but some of them got a couple more than 2. I just got to spread them out. All right, that looks good to me. Of course, you know I'll be planting way more of these than that. Love our collard greens around here. There we go, y'all. Georgia collards. Both rows. And I'll put another tag on this one right here. Let's move on. So next we'll be planting 3 different types of broccoli. We're going to plant Desico broccoli. We're going to plant early purple sprouting broccoli. And we're going to plant Calabrese broccoli. All right. I'll take my Calabrese broccoli. Like I did everything else. Try to drop 2 seeds per pod. Try to increase my chance of germination. If I drop an extra one, ain't no big deal. Because if it starts to grow, I try to save all mine. I'm weird like that. So here's my Calabrese. Put that right there. Well, before we do that, I'm gonna go ahead and plant all the broccolis and then we'll cover them with dirt. So next we'll be doing the Desico broccoli. That's way too many seeds. Hold on, I don't need that much. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 1. I only got 3. That's all right. And these cells are so small. I know it won't be able to sustain 3 plants for a long period of time. But if I can get something with some roots on it, I got it from there. I normally can save them. I know people like to thin their stuff out. I don't. And then the next one is the early purple sprouting broccoli. Let's get this one in there. All right. Make sure they're all sealed off. I'll cover them all with dirt. Or soil. I know a lot of y'all don't like to say dirt. I do. But soil. All right, we got it covered. We got the calabasas. We got the early purple sprouting. We got the Desico. Boom, there we go. All right, let's move on. All right, next we'll be growing the Savoy cabbage. You know, that's the wrinkly looking one. We'll be growing some early Jerseys, and we'll be growing some broccoli romanesco. So I did have some luck with this one last year. Miss Linda had some excellent ones in Backyard Roots over there with Cheryl Swoop and her husband Chris. They did an excellent job with theirs, so I'll be growing those again this year. Let's get into it. So the first thing first, we're gonna go ahead and drop this broccoli romanesco. Of course, I'll be planting more of this. I always try to plant a lot just in case something dies off or whatever. So we're gonna go 2 per. This is a beautiful plant. I think it's native to Europe. All right, there we go. Uh-oh, dropped a couple seeds, can't afford that on all my seeds. All right, that's the broccoli romanesco. Let's go with the early Jerseys next. These have a shorter maturity date. They don't form into a regular big head. It's more of a spiral type head. But when I make fried cabbage or cabbage soup, the cabbage, it doesn't matter if it's a head or not. All right, early jerseys. And then last but not least, the soap for. Wow, way too many. All right. Barkley Romanesco, early Jersey, Savoy cabbage. And what I like about these trays, I mean everybody's different, but with these trays, you can put water in the bottom and you don't have to worry about your starch drying out, right? So I like to plant in these. All through the summer, I put my starch in these. All right, let's move on. Look at this, y'all. These trays fit in here perfect. Perfect. And I got these on Amazon for like $5. So I may be ordering some more of these. I like them. One, you don't have to use that much soil in them. And two, you know, they do have a little flex so you can get the plant out once it starts to grow. All right, let me fill these up and we'll come back. All right, y'all, we finna do another tray. I got 3 more of these trays to fill up, but this is what we're going to plant next. So let's get this going. We're going to plant a Florida broadleaf mustard, a Vena, a white Vena, kohlrabi, and a dino kale. All right. So let's get this started. Start with the dino kale. I like this kale. I love the way the leaves look. They got another one very similar to this, called a black something. I think I have some of that coming. We'll see. Okay, yeah, I got. All right, let me put the rest of this back. So next we'll be doing the kohlrabi. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do any purple kohlrabi this year. It did okay, but to me, in my garden, the white kohlrabi grew better. And I like the kohlrabi. I like the taste of it. All right, we got that in. So now, we're gonna do the Florida broadleaf mustard. All right. So we got the giant red mustard greens. We're gonna do some of these Florida broadleaf mustard greens. I like mustard greens. And then, you know, you can always mix your greens. So I'm trying to put 2. Cover this with some of this soil. And for all you new gardeners, you know, I don't I'm not necessarily a person that tries to teach somebody how to garden. I basically show you what I do. And you can learn from that, great. If you get anything out of it. But I would suggest that they'll do some research to learn about the garden, learn about the soil, learn about the fertilizers, what type, how to make it, things like that, so you know what you're doing. And then they also have videos on Netflix, I think, that a lot of gardeners should watch. It's called Kiss the Ground. So if you get a chance, watch that video. Okay, then we're gonna go with the kohlrabi, and then the dino kale. All right, let's move on. All right, so next we'll be planting Chinese cabbage, purple curly Scotch kale, and pak choy. Now, I'm not 100% sure if Chinese cabbage is the same as Napa cabbage, but they do look alike. I grew some of this last year and it grew very well. I made the mistake of crowding the space with them. So what I normally do is I'll grow some of these starts and I'll direct sow, you know, somewhere in between the starts. And I did that last year and looked like they all took. But anyway, let's keep going. So we're going to plant the purple curly Scotch kale. Now it is a kale that I don't think I have any more of. I got to double check that I have to grow. I love growing this stuff. It's really good. And it's called a Portuguese kale. So I may have to go online and order some more of this stuff. I like that Portuguese kale. I make a Portuguese kale soup out of it, which is called a green soup. It's one of their staples from what I've read. But you can use any kale. You can even use any green to make the soup. But I'll try to use the purple kale. Pak choy, grew this last year, had some success with this. I like this in a stir fry. Like, this is something you can just come pick out the garden, chop you up some garlic and a little olive oil, stir fry this up. You can add some carrots or whatever you want to add to it, and it's really good to me. So it makes a really good quick meal. I'll just button up. Cover this with some soil. Chinese blue curly Scotch kale. Might have got them out of order. No, I didn't. Pak choy. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, next, y'all, we'll be planting, some New Zealand spinach, some Swiss chard, and some Premier kale. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this right quick. I planted some of this out there in a, I have some of this in a container. but I didn't harvest any. Some came up. So I'm gonna do this, try this again. And these seeds are very large. So we're gonna put one in each one. I'm not gonna plant a lot. Got to see if I even like this stuff. So we'll put one in each one. All right. And we're gonna plant some of this mixed colored Swiss chard. And it's a fairly large seed also. Very similar to a beet seed. So I'm gonna put one in each one of these also. Just gonna put one. And then we're gonna plant Premier Kale. Grew this last year. Came out pretty good. We'll grow some more. Now I do have some Siberian kale that I grew that I really like from last year. I'll dig those seeds up and get some of those planted. Close this up. Get these covered. And for all you new gardeners, Premier Swiss chard, New Zealand. There's nothing wrong with learning things from people on YouTube. It is a really good resource. But I would suggest to you to do your own research also. You can learn a lot from a lot of people on YouTube, but you can learn a lot also by doing your own research on what people have taught you and experimenting in your garden. You're only going to get better by experimenting and trying things in your garden. And you will learn from your failures. I promise you, you will. I kill a lot of stuff in my garden. I've been doing it for quite a while, but I still kill stuff. But I still like to try stuff. I still like to try new stuff. I still like to push the envelope. I've actually grown carrots in a cup, pulled them, pulled the seedlings out individually, dug a hole with a stick, put the seedling down in them very carefully so the root went straight down, and closed it in just to see if I could get carrots like that, and I did. So try things in your garden, experiment, and do your own research. Just my little 2 cents. So the last thing I'm going to show you guys I'm planting today is golden ball turnips. These did pretty good last year. This golden acre cabbage, it came up, but I didn't get what I wanted out of that. So we're going to get out a try again. Varflay, spinach, we're going to get out a go. So the golden ball turnips, I think I grew some starts and I direct sowed quite a bit of this. And when I did get when the turnips came up, I took the little balls that I got, cut them up, and roasted them, got them bad boys. You talk about something good. They were good. Put them in the oven. A little olive oil. Season them a little bit. I'm trying to drop one, but I'm dropping 2 and 3, but it don't matter. Alright. So we're gonna do the golden, we're gonna do the viral next. The viral flay or viral flay, however it's pronounced. Spinach. So I'm gonna water this stuff in, and then I'll put water in the bottom of this tray. I like these seeds, they're a little bigger. I can kind of push them down where I want them. And keep these moist. And I'm definitely going to keep these out of direct sunlight. Out of this heat, because it's still hot here in Georgia. I want it to come up, but I don't want it to burn up or dry out, and that's why I'll be putting water in the bottom of these trays. And then last but not least, hope I got this right, is the golden acre cabbage. Let me go ahead and put this back here now so I don't get that mixed up. I'll cover these up. Put the far fillet or vera fillet in there. Boom. And there we are. Two trays done. All right, y'all, there you go. We got 2 trays done of my fall sowing, seed sowing. If you like my content, we out here working hard. Like and subscribe. Secondly, I got a lot to do. I still got a lot of cleaning up to do in the garden. I've been gone for 5 days, come back. I got okra as big as cucumbers out there, but I'm gonna let those go to seeds. And I gotta go pick a lot of this stuff that, you know, that's overgrown. My bean trellis that I had over there, which was, I shouldn't have known better the way I put that trellis up. But anyway, it has fallen over. I got to get that up. A lot to do to get this thing going. Not sure if I'm gonna video myself cleaning out all this garden. I think I'm gonna just go ahead and get all this stuff out right quick. And then I'll show you guys as I'm amending the garden and getting it prepared for the fall. All right, guys, this is Stacey from Hands in the Dirt. And remember, if you have some seeds, ain't no need of leaving them in the pack. You can't eat no food like that. That rhymes. Put them in the dirt.